Hey there, my good little buddies. How you doing today? This is something kind of weird and odd that I decided to do just kind of for fun. Hopefully you guys will enjoy it along the way. This is something called Deflation mode, which most people probably know about, but not that many people have probably tried it. Why? Well, you don't really get anything extra or special for it. You don't get anything if you beat it. The only thing you can do is compete for the high score for a certain map or something like that. So honestly, that's why most people don't even know about it or even try for it or even do anything having to do with it. It's kind of like Apocalypse mode. What the heck is the point of Apocalypse mode besides having a challenge? And that's what this is. This is a challenge! So I decided to do this. This is my basic setup. The way Deflation mode works is that you start on round 30 and you go and you get $50,000 and you use that $50,000 to build a setup that you think will last you as far as possible into the game. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and beat these guys. Oops, sorry about that, guys. I don't know what the heck's up with that. My video was just kind of laggy and stuff for some reason. But I decided to go with mostly Moab Maulers, and I decided to do this round, or this level especially, because this is a level where you're going to get the most popping power out of your towers. Things go right next to each other and over each other, and cannons are especially good for popping things that are already on top of each other. So I'm going mostly cannons and mostly explosions as my popping power. But I also decided to go with an Arctic Wind. I felt like the Oh My God was not going to be the main... the balloons were actually not going to be the main problem here. It was going to be mostly the Oh My Gods and possibly the BFBs as well. But that pretty much turned out to be not quite the case. It was actually only the Oh My Gods. BFBs got completely demolished, but Oh My Gods were a little bit bigger of an issue. And I don't feel like there's any real way better way to do it than the way I did it. We're already on free play, by the way, on round 86, and my old highest round for any deflation was, I believe, around 91, maybe around 92 or something like that. So let's see how high we can actually get. This is, by the way, naps, and I also did not use any abilities. Not that abilities are banned by any means, but it usually does help out a little bit when you do use abilities, but I decided to just try and stay away from it so people can replicate this if they wish, or try and do a little bit better than me if they want to, maybe even using abilities. So what's really going on? I mean, look, if you can tell, my mortar is actually supposed to be a lot of extra popping power, but I think it ended up turning out to be not quite as much as I really wanted it to be. I mean, my 4-2 cannon and Arctic Wind are extremely expensive to get, but in combination, they are full ceramic popping power for almost an unlimited amount of balloons that come near it. The Arctic Wind is just plain amazing. I really can't say anything bad about it. So, oh my god, look at all these guys. There's some mobs all over the place, and it looks like we are going to maybe. Oh my god, they're so freaking close, and my Spike Factory kept it No Lives Lost for us. Just plain ridiculous. And yes, I did use the Spike Factory just because. Just because. I could have got another cannon, I could have got something else, but I decided to go with the Spike Factory. Maybe for mob popping power, maybe just to keep those silly little balloons from escaping if they ever do end up getting that far. And there's still a crap load of Oh My Gods right here. Most of my Moab Maulers are on strong, but I actually end up microing a little bit where I put some of them on first, as well as I micro a little bit of my mortar over there as well. Move him around a little bit to make sure he's getting the most popping power out of his stuff. For example, I don't want the mortar to be right in the middle of that circle, because even though it's kind of nice that it'll pop most of those balloons completely surrounding it, I want him to do most of the popping power near the Arctic Wind and near my 4-2 cannon, so they can all be in combination with each other and do an amazing job together, united. That's the real problem here, is just having them all get united together and doing the exact same thing, or making the exact same thing happen. But honestly, 4-2 cannon, Arctic Wind, you really can't go wrong with that, even with this amazing amount of Moabs and Oh My Gods. And look at that, we got like 8 Oh My Gods coming out all at the same time. There might be 6, I can't really count, they're moving too fast for me. And then, because they go around 3 times, it really does help you out tremendously in the amount of popping power you're going to get. It really does. It helps me out so much, and it just makes me feel good and gooey inside. But here it is, level 96 already. Can you guys believe it? Level 96? I never would have thought that I was going to get this far in Deflation mode. I was thinking, oh, my max was 92. Maybe I can top it by a level. Maybe I can get 93. But, no, I'm going even further than that. And we're getting to the part of the game where actually every single level, believe it or not, actually has the Oh My Gods get faster and stronger. And here's level 97. We're already starting off with Oh My Gods, and then more Oh My Gods are coming. How could we possibly beat this? And you guys are right. We can't. We can't possibly beat this. So that's all I'm going to have for this little deflation video for you guys. I just wanted to say thanks for watching, and maybe you guys can beat this. If you guys can beat round 97, that would be just plain amazing. I'd really like to see it, and I want to see people try and do deflation mode more often, just because, just for fun. But that's all I'm gonna have, you guys. So have a great day.